Some days, everything feels too much. Even brushing your teeth feels impossible. You don't want to talk, you don't want to move. You just want to stay in bed, in the dark, and maybe you feel ashamed about that. But what if that's not a failure? What if it's a message? Welcome to Just a Thought, a quiet place to slow down, reconnect, and remember what truly matters. Here you don't have to do anything, you can simply be present for a few quiet minutes. You're just invited to listen, and maybe to feel a little less alone. Maybe today is one of those days. You woke up tired, your body heavy, your heart unsure, and somehow even the simplest things feel like too much. If that's where you are right now, this space is for you. There will be no pressure here, no judgment, no fix-it-quick advice. Just a quiet voice sitting beside you, offering a few thoughts, like a friend would. We'll gently explore why days like this happen, what your mind and body might be trying to say, and how you can respond with softness instead of shame. You don't need to do anything right now. Just listen, and maybe feel a little less alone. When everything feels like too much, there are days when the world just overwhelms you. The light feels too bright. Every sound feels too sharp. Even small tasks, brushing your teeth, answering a message, deciding what to eat, feel impossibly heavy. You might tell yourself to get it together. You might wonder why you're like this, why you can't just function like everyone else. But here's the truth. This isn't you being broken. This is your nervous system saying, I'm not okay. When everything feels like too much, it's often because you've been carrying too much for too long. Maybe you've been in survival mode. Maybe you've been pushing through stress, pain, expectations without space to process or rest. Maybe your mind has learned to always be on guard, and now it's simply overwhelmed. This isn't laziness. It's not a character flaw. It's a signal, one that says, you are at your limit, and you need kindness more than critique. You need safety more than pressure. You need presence more than productivity. The world won't teach you this, but you're allowed to learn it here, at your own pace, in your own way. When we're chronically overwhelmed by stress, trauma, grief, or just the relentless demands of life, our brain doesn't just get tired, it starts protecting us by pulling the emergency brake. This response is called hypoarousal. In psychological terms, it's part of the autonomic nervous system's survival strategy, just like fight or flight. But instead of gearing us up, hypoarousal shuts us down. It's your brain saying, I can't keep pretending everything's fine. I need to conserve energy. I need to feel safe. This state can show up in many ways. Feeling emotionally numb or blank. No motivation to get out of bed. Basic decisions feel overwhelming. Overreacting to small noises, clutter, or interruptions. A deep desire to isolate or hide. Feeling like you're underwater, distant, disconnected, frozen. And here's what matters. This isn't laziness. This isn't weakness. This isn't giving up. It's your nervous system going into protective mode, trying to shield you from emotional or sensory overload. In trauma-informed therapy, this is sometimes described as a freeze or collapse response. It happens when your system doesn't see a safe way to fight or flee, so it numbs to survive. It may feel scary or even shameful, But in truth, your body is doing what it was designed to do: keep you safe. You are not failing. You are responding to something real. And that's the first step to healing. Understanding that your shutdown is not a betrayal. It's a signal. One that says, you've been strong for too long. Now it's time to rest. What you need is not pressure, but permission. When we shut down emotionally, our instinct is often to push. We tell ourselves, I should get up. I need to be productive. I can't let myself feel like this. But here's the truth. Pressure does not heal exhaustion. It reinforces it. It sends the message that your worth depends on performance, even when your body is clearly asking for pause. What actually helps is permission. Not permission to give up on life, but permission to be human, to slow down, to feel confused, tired, numb, or heavy without shame, to not have answers, to rest even when you don't feel like you've earned it. Because healing isn't something you earn through effort, it's something that unfolds when you finally stop punishing yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. When you can't function like you usually do, the mind starts whispering, "What's wrong with me? Why am I like this? Maybe I'm just weak." But let me offer a different thought. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not lazy, you are not broken, you are not a burden. You are a human, carrying more than anyone can see. You've been in survival mode for too long, and your body is finally asking to be heard. Your shutdown is not a defect, it's data. It's your nervous system saying, enough. I can't keep pretending. I need softness. I need quiet. Let that truth speak, without judgment. What you can do on a day like this. If today is one of those days where the dark room feels safer than the outside world, then please know, you don't need to force yourself out of it. But maybe, gently, you could offer yourself something small. A sip of water, just to remind your body it matters. A few slow breaths to return to the present. Sit by a window and let a little light touch your face. Listen to something soft, music, rain, silence. Wrap yourself in a blanket, like a cocoon, not a cage. Whisper something kind to yourself, even if your mind protests. These are not solutions. They are signals, signals of life, signals of care. They say, I'm still here, I still matter, and sometimes that's enough. You don't have to explain it to anyone. One of the most exhausting parts of mental pain is the pressure to justify it, to make it legible to others, to give it a name, to find the root cause, to make it make sense. But some pain is ancient, some sadness is quiet, some days there are no words, only weight. And even if you tried to explain it, how could you? Even the kindest people, your friends, your partner, your family, can never fully feel what you feel. They may try to understand, they may listen with open hearts, but they are not inside your body, not inside your mind. So how could strangers, coworkers, bosses, neighbors, how could they ever grasp the depth of a pain they cannot see? When someone breaks a leg, there's a cast, a clear wound, a visible reason to rest. But when your heart is cracked, when your mind is overwhelmed, there's no cast for that, and that's okay. It's okay if your pain is invisible. It's okay if no one else fully understands. You are allowed to rest, to heal, to stop explaining. You don't owe anyone a reason, not even yourself. You won't feel like this forever. When you're inside the fog, it's hard to imagine light. When everything feels heavy, the idea of hope can seem fake, even offensive. You might think, "I've always felt this way, and I always will." But that's not the truth. That's depression talking. And depression has a way of distorting time. It makes the days stretch endlessly. It makes your past feel like proof of your hopelessness. It erases the good moments and amplifies the pain. But here's the quiet truth. This is not forever. This is not all you are. Even if joy feels far away, it still exists. And one day, you'll meet it again. There will be moments, maybe quiet, maybe unexpected, when you feel a spark of curiosity, a laugh that surprises you, a sunrise that moves you, a breath that feels like enough. You may not feel ready yet. That's okay. You may not believe this today. That's okay too. Because even disbelief is allowed here. Even doubt is part of the healing. Just rest. Not to escape life, but to eventually return to it. Rest is not a failure. Rest is how you begin again. And one last thought. You are not lazy. You are not broken. You are not a burden. You are not too much. You've just had to hold too much for too long, with too little rest, too little care, too few moments where someone said, "You don't have to carry this alone." But I'm saying it now. You're allowed to pause. You're allowed to feel. You're allowed to take up space, even when you're struggling. You are worthy of gentleness, even on the days when you can't offer any to yourself. So take a breath, take your time, and when you're ready, take one small step toward the light. This is just a thought, but maybe it's the one you needed today.